Hello, everyone. I'm just going to give this a minute to Facebook, a minute to just kind of do its thing and to see now and let you all arrive. So I just wanted to talk about, I wanted to talk more about Unleashed, and I'm going to be talking about this for the next couple days because this is the first program I've really offered since the spring of 2018. And intensive course that I'm doing on my own. And the reason I'm doing this now, and I've had I have had sleepless nights. This is why I have not taught a course for a while, because I have to be all in to do it. I cannot deliver courses, I cannot create programs unless I'm totally 100% soul led. And I've had some sleepless nights just really looking at this and kind of wrestling with this topic even. Even this morning, considering, everything that's happening out west with the fires and this ignition point, this profound flame that really arose in my view and my vision as I began even to consider what Unleashed was about. It's really when I look up in the sky and I see Mars, and we all are seeing Mars now so incredibly bright, we're feeling that fire. And yes, it's retrograde, and so the energy is pulling back and extremely potent. But there's this very powerful energy that we can access now. And so I've questioned, do I need to offer something that holds people more in a space of nurturing? Because we all know that we need a lot of gentleness right now. And that is often what my role has been, whether it's through my podcast, my individual consultations and sessions, the forecast or the work I do with Astro Hub, any of the other ways and places, the interviews I do. I often really am here bringing forward medicine that is nurturing and gentling and wanting to create a space where our nervous systems can really rest so that we can be open to creating something in the middle of what can feel incredibly ungrounding. I deeply believe that we are going to find our inner compass. We're going to find our own individual place in this great story that's unfolding around us right now when we do come into a grounded, settled state. And from that place to be still enough to let our deeper answers come to us. And with so much volatility and so much, in a sense, really kind of raw energy surrounding us right now as the political climate heats up here in the US in particular, I've wondered, is this adding more fire to fire? And the reality is that the deeper and deeper I sit with this and be with this, I have to trust my instinct on this one. And what I've discovered in my own life is that one of the most powerful ways to actually heal, one of the most powerful ways to actually come home to ourselves in such a way that we can recover a sense of joy, a sense of playfulness, a sense of aliveness, in a time when so many forces in the world would easily take us into more of a state of dissociation, is by taking action. And not just any action. I was raised in a very kind of Calvinist, very productive, working class family. And those values are deeply embedded in me. I've resisted them in many ways. Some aspects of those values that feel like it's centered in a place of it's never going to be enough, doing from a place of addiction. I don't love that. I've spent a lot of my life healing from that to move into a more feminine flow. On the other hand, I think for many of us, especially those of us who are very spiritual in orientation and very process oriented, we might sometimes do so much work on the inside that we miss a really vital aspect of life, which is that when we really start to take action, when we really start to move toward those things that, and I would say, okay, the things that ignite us and also scare us, then our lives begin to take on more color, more flavor, more vibrancy. Each one of you listening, I very deeply believe, are here listening because you have a seed in you, you have some dream in you, you have something that you want to bring out into the world. Um, and that is going to be the path to your healing. It's going to be the path to your really clearing away, letting go of some of the fog, some of the restriction, some of the kind of crazy making that your mind might, that it's so easy to go into at this time. And so, you know, I've learned a while back, I think it was when I was in Idaho. I was a park ranger at the time. And I also was creating, I had this blank slate. I could create any kind of program I wanted in the community. And I quickly learned that this lesson, I was in my early 20s. I learned that if I would put an event on the calendar and announce it, you know, I'm gonna teach a workshop on taking care of birds of prey because I was taking care of birds of prey at the time, or on wolves and the reintroduction of wolves. You know, there are all these amazing topics that I could teach on, and I'd have to put it on the calendar. I didn't know anything about it, but I had to put it on the calendar. And as soon as I did that, then the energy flowed to make that thing happen. Right now is a time where a lot of forces inside of us and outside of us can cause us to go into freeze mode, can cause our nervous systems to go into that mode of paralysis. And my feeling is that this actually is a time where with this, the astrology of the moment is unmistakable. If we can align our own hearts, our souls, and our settled nervous systems. Hi, Paula. Yeah, wolves are a big theme in this place where I live right now with my love. Um, if we can come from that place of a settled nervous system and listening for what thrills us to create in the world around us, something that feels a little bit out of reach, but it's been there stirring in the background for a while. Um, this really is the time to begin to plant those seeds in a really powerful way. So for me, I'm just gonna lay it out there. I have a dream I've had for a while now. And part of the reason I'm doing this, I'm creating this program, is because I want this container as well. And I'm going to be doing this alongside you. We're going to be doing it together. I have wanted since 2018, since the summer of 2018, I had this ignition that came through, a vision that came through of sisters north and south. And it was a vision that was deeply fueled by the work, the deep devotional work and the pilgrimages I had made to connect with the goddess Ixchel, the goddess of the moon in the Mayan culture. And this vision was of two sisters, forehead to forehead. And one sister is white and one sister is brown. And in brown, black, she's a woman of color. And these sisters in this vision that Ixchel showed me, she showed me this vision, and she also showed me that this is the time we live in now where it is for us, all of we as women who are drawn to the goddess. It's a time for us to remember that there are many ways we can co-create with the divine feminine. There is that great mother force that so many of us are awakening to now through a reconnection with the cosmic womb, the great womb, that Sophia, that Holy Ghost, that feminine presence that holds everything. And there's a deep surrender to that and an alignment we're doing in our own womb. There also, Ixchel was showing me, is a way of co-creating with the feminine divine that is about sisterhood, that we are a sister with the goddess. You know, and in that vision, it was initially me. I myself was forehead to forehead with Ixchel, with this goddess presence. And she was showing me, you can co-create with me. We can create together. And she was also showing me the vital power in creating a project specifically where white women would be in allyship with indigenous women, That vision has broadened because it feels so absolutely clear that women of color generally from many different heritages and can join with white women as well. And we need all of us to be coming together in some kind of a potent allyship with Indigenous women across Turtle Island. And I want to just say that this project is so terrifying to me because I'm very aware of all of the many of the minefields in working in Indigenous communities. I'm very aware of so many minefields in the area of allyship between white women and Indigenous women. I'm also aware of even we're in a field right now where it's so touchy and it's so painful and difficult sometimes and uncomfortable to know, and I've heard this from my sisters of color as well as white sisters, to know how it is that we can at one time understand our unity as humans, sacred humans, and as sisters, as women, and also acknowledge these the systems of systemic racism of colonization that we all exist within, and what kind of power balance structures that creates inside of us and outside of us. There's a lot more to my vision, but I've been holding this vision in my heart for a while, and there's some part of me that is just impatient. It can't wait anymore. It's time to start that now and plant the seeds. So part of what right now where I'm at is that in this course and the way I will be working with this time we're going to have together, in addition to creating that container where everyone else can work with me and we can work in pods, strategizing is to, I know my current vision is to create a summit where I come together and I'm going to take the time between the beginning of the course to the time of the summit, which is going to be on the 13th, possibly 13th, 14th of November, to begin to really have all those conversations with the many individuals who I see as potential partners in this process, and to create one initial event that will create a place for conversation, for really asking questions, for really looking at and bringing people together, women together, and as well as some brothers who can support to plant the seeds for what this could look like in the future. So this is a project that is absolutely near and dear to my heart. It makes my heart kind of skip a beat when I think about even beginning to really initiate it. And my feeling, though, is that this project is needed in the world. And this is the time to focus on it. And so that's my vision. So if this is something that you are interested in, that you would like to participate in, Unleashed is a 7-week intensive with me. We're going to be meeting every Tuesday, beginning this Tuesday, the 29th of September, every afternoon from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Central Time. And so we're going to be meeting every Tuesday until November the 17th, I believe. So, and we are going to have some time. You'll have time with me where I'm going to be doing some downloads, some sharing of what's happening astrologically, also creating structure and creating context for each of you between these weekly sessions, simple processes where you can deepen into your vision. We're just going to start by creating a fertile field. I also use guided meditations and other tools like that. It's going to be really alive and really vibrant in the moment, as well as having certain frameworks that are going to sustain us. I would say this is for you if you do have something you really want to seed on the 13th and 14th, and you want a supportive circle of individuals, women, men, any gender is welcome and absolutely included, to hold you through that and through the astrological energies that are so ripe for this, and to support you in drilling down more deeply if you don't feel like you know exactly what you want to do in the 13th and 14th, to drill more deeply into what that thing is that makes your heart leap, that scares you a little bit. And, you know, like me, and it might be a little bit beyond what you think you can do, but you want to have that sense too that this is possible. This is barely possible. So it's that really juicy spot right there where it's not something that's like so far out that you're going to end up feeling like you are setting yourself up to fail, but it's a little beyond what you think you can do. So, so if this is you, then, and if you feel a resonance, and I'm going to just trust your resonance, then you can check out the link, and I'm going to talk a little more about it again tomorrow. If you cannot meet for that time live on every Tuesday, I would say this probably isn't for you. If you miss one or two, I think this can be fine because we're going to record it. I also will say that it's coming up very quickly, and I'm going to keep the registration open until the second week, but not beyond that. The container closes then. So just, really dream into this, feel into this. You've got a couple more days to decide, and I'm excited for us to gather. I feel so excited. I can already see and feel and sense you gathering. And I absolutely can't tell you how delighted and thrilled I am to feel in my body what it's going to be like when we meet on our final gathering on Tuesday, the 17th, when we all celebrate together the incredible, beautiful seeds that have been planted on the 13th, 14th, which is when, again, each of us is going to do something. And it doesn't matter that it's something huge. What matters is that you're stretching yourself, and that by you planting this big seed at this potent moment, when Jupiter is conjunct Pluto, that you know that is going to set in motion something that that then in some sense is going to help carry you forward by its own momentum, and the momentum of all of the support that you receive from all of your guides, allies, from the universe, as you state your intent through action that the dream that you have in your heart is real. It's already here. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you if this is something you're interested in. And again, look at the link. You can check it out more there. And you can also feel free to email me, tammybrunken@gmail.com, even if you want to set up a quick conversation to explore this further. All right. Have a beautiful night, all.